Anyone else remember that movie where Kevin Costner trains Ashton Kutcher to be in the Coast Guard? Has literally nothing to do with the rest of this review. Just asking a general question. The Finest Hours. So The Finest Hours is the true story of Bernie Webber, played by Chris Pine. He's in the Coast Guard and he has to take Ben Foster and two other guys to go and get Casey Affleck. Casey Affleck is on a ship that broke in half in the middle of the ocean. Now Chris Pine has to get to them before they sink and ultimately drown and die. I was actually pleasantly surprised by this movie. Part of that was probably because it was from the dude that directed Lars and the Real Girl and the Fright Night remake. Two movies that I actually really enjoyed. Let's get right to the performances in this movie. Casey Affleck does a really good job of leading the charge. He does a really good job of playing the guy who's like, alright, you guys have to listen to me or else we are going to die. Chris Pine does a really good job too. You saw it in the trailer. There's that one line where he goes, you know, in the Coast Guard, they say you gotta go out. They don't say you gotta go back in. A really bad Boston accent. That perfectly illustrates the mindset that Chris Pine has throughout this movie. He's still prepared to die, and I thought that was really cool, that he was just like, look, if we live or die, we have to try and go get them. And another thing that really surprised me was the fact that this is a Disney movie, ultimately. I thought this was going to be a complete Disney telling of the story where it's like, oh gosh, oh golly, well, we gotta go get them. No, this movie, you can tell that everyone in the movie is in the mindset of, we are completely and totally fucked. You also look at the fact that this shit actually happened. The fact that to this day, this is still the most daring rescue in Coast Guard history. Oh, I don't know if it still is, but okay, that's the last Guardian reference, I promise. Shit in this movie, it's really intense. When stuff is going down, you're on the edge of your seat, you're biting your nails, you don't know what is going to happen. When shit's supposed to be intense, shit is intense. The only downside of this movie, I thought, was actually the romance he has with the girl. I mean, to the movie's credit, I get it. You want to touch on the fact that Chris Pine has to have something to go back to. The fact that this movie is under 2 hours and you dedicate the first 15 or 20 minutes to the romance, it kind of takes away a bit from the rest of the movie as a whole. It doesn't take away from the fact that even Chris Pine still wants to get back, even if just to live. Another thing I didn't really like about the movie is that they do try to overplay the fact that the ship is in half now. You see it in the first shot, and the guy looks like he's about to crap himself when he sees that the ship is just torn in two. Then it happens a second time, and then a third time, and then to the point where, you know, you get it. The ship's in half, and it's not really that shocking anymore. So in the end, guys, The Finest Hours is a disaster movie. It's a good survival movie. It's a good movie about hope and the hope to survive when you are in the shittiest of situations. Great performances from Chris Pine, Casey Affleck, Eric Bana, Holliday Granger, who plays the girl in the movie. She does pretty good as well. I'll say in the end, The Finest Hours is a movie I will buy on Blu-ray. So you guys, The Finest Hours, if you haven't seen it yet, you should go and see it because it's a pretty cool movie. And once you do see it, I want to know what you thought. So let me know in the comments section below. And I'll see you next time.